Okay, everybody, we're here to play through this scenario, fix the traffic in the oddly named Appletown. As you can see, traffic flow over 82%, a population over 35,000 are the wind conditions, and we've got to do that under 200 weeks. There's an option here to select left-hand traffic. Now I live in the UK, however, I always play these games on right-hand traffic. It's not an issue, you just need to remember that obviously the traffic's driving around on the right. Left-hand turns are there for the bane of your life and the ones to watch out for. And of course traffic circles will be running counterclockwise instead of clockwise, as they would with left-hand traffic. Let's get this running. I've got some personal rules. Obviously mods are out, otherwise why would you do that? I'm not going to use any, let's pause this, I'm not going to use any public transport. I do have some road assets, but the road assets are basically, let's turn this off. The road assets are basically a shortcut. If you had the time, the patience and the ability, you could build a road asset in-game, so no biggie. Okay, so first thing I've done is paused. The reason for pausing, obviously, is because we've got a 200-week time limit. 200 weeks is quite a lot, but we may find ourselves struggling later. The first job, just orient the map the way I personally like it. The first job is to have a little look at what we've got. And as this is a traffic scenario, the most obvious place to start is with the traffic overlay. And as you can see, it's a big mess. 62% is not as bad as I've seen on various maps, but it's not good. Clearly the problem is centered around this pair of intersections and this area here. Let's delve in and see if we can figure out why that should be. Going straight away to the zoning overlay, we can see where the industry is, and it's industry that generates most of the traffic in response to demand from the commercial areas. Obviously residents are going to want to get around. This residential area, industrial area, come on Mike, is being fed along this road, so it's obviously going to be getting heavily affected by the fact that traffic is going to be despawning in here, basically. These two also using this road, so we've got a lot of demand on this road from these three industrial areas. We've got a little commercial area here. The problem with this is it's wrong to assume that it will be being served by only these three industrial areas. The way the game works, it's just as likely that a truck from here will want to get in there as the one right next door. And the same goes for this one here. Obviously anything coming out of here is going to want to get up there, but equally trucks from this area will also want to get up to this area. In fact, this one's even worse because we can see it's a district, and if we just click on the policies for this area, it's a forestry specialization district. Now, forestry specialization, or any form of specialization, delivers to industry. So trucks coming out of here are going to need to deliver to this industry, this industry, this industry, this industry. So they've got a task, because they've got to get through all of this mess and this mess to get in there. That's going to lead to these people being short of stuff that they want from here, or they might even ignore it altogether and import directly. If we look at the imports, 11,000 imports, and notice also these are importing as well, and we'll come back to why that should be. Exports, next to nothing. So why Is this area importing? Well, let's go back to the reason, of course, it's forestry, and even from here we can see there isn't any forestry. Easiest thing to do with that, because again, in my experience, forestry districts seem to spawn the most trucks of all. So we're going to just get rid of it. There we are. There is no forestry district. Those buildings will now despawn and rebuild as generic industry. Okay, what's the next thing to look at? Having established that the industry is effectively in the worst possible positions, let's look at the network. There are mods that will let you see the arrows, but just click on your road builder and you get to see any one ways and which way they're running. Let's start over here. Remember, we're on the right hand traffic, so we're on normal traffic, shall we call it. Straight away, this traffic circle is running in the wrong direction, so we're going to fix that straight away before we even think about it. That's that. The other thing to note about this little area is there's one way in and one way out. Everything comes in this way and goes out that way because of the one-ways. One-way traffic can be a good thing because you effectively double the capacity of the road. But in this particular situation, I think the best thing to do, at least for the time being, is, oops, my mistake, is change them to two-way, and then they can go anywhere they want. And the other thing to think about is that trucks will come in and they don't deliver their entire load all in one go. Not necessarily. So a truck might come in and it will want to deliver to, say, this building, and then it might want to deliver to that building. But in order to do that, it would have to exit the area, go all the way around and come back in again, because the way the one-way roads were laid out, it wouldn't have any route from that building to that building. So for the time being, we're just going to do away with the one-ways. Now, while we're on the subject of one-ways, because obviously I've seen this map before, I've done this scenario before, so let's have a look at this. This one is also the wrong way around. That is to say, this garbage truck has to cross the path of anything coming up this road in order to go that way, because that's the only option he's got. And similarly, when he leaves this area, he has to cross the path of traffic coming in to get back out. So let's reverse the flow. So now that's going the right way around. Then there's this, more on this later. Still talking about one-ways. These guys here, they've got cars. Presumably they went to the showroom and bought them, drove in, parked them, and have left them there ever since because they can't drive them back out. See that? Obviously this is just starting the scenario. I suspect that what would happen over time is these buildings would just become abandoned. That said, obviously the residents can walk out, so maybe not. For the time being, I'm just going to change it to a nice tree-line road, why not, and change the direction. It's probably going, but we'll worry about that in a moment. Oh, all these one-ways. Same issue here. The way it's designed, it's not possible, unless they loop around at that point, for a truck that's here to deliver to a factory over here, and trucks do deliver to factories, so we'll just clean out all the one-ways for the time being. I'm not saying that one-way roads are a bad idea. They can often be a real tool to control your flow, but for this scenario, our best chance is to let everything go anywhere it wants, basically. I'll come back to that in a moment. Let's go over here, and another traffic circle, and again it's running in the wrong direction, so that's better. Okay, that's essentially the epic fails dealt with. The next thing to do is look at, we should look at this, but we're going to look at this because it's easier, is look at this morass. Let me get rid of that because it's very irritating, all that clicking. This is a strange piece of highway. First of all, it's connecting to the wrong side of the carriageway. And not only that, but the likelihood is, to look at this, that stuff is coming down here, up over here, along here, and it has to cross these lanes in order to enter this slip lane. Not only that, but it hasn't got a lot of room in which to do it. You know, it's, let's just click this back on for a moment. How many nodes is that? One, two? Hard to say. So what we're going to do is, because the traffic already has another option to the correct side, we're just going to delete it. Now this isn't going to be enough, unfortunately. And the same is true here. Traffic coming out of this slip lane has to get across the highway in order to exit the highway in order to travel in this direction, when there is already a nice little tunnel. So we're going to lose this as well. Just tidies things up so we can see what's happening a little easier. And now traffic coming out of here has got a lot more time in which to organize itself. It's still having to get to the wrong side of the highway, but instead of having to do it right here, it's going to travel a lot further. And therefore it'll probably change lanes somewhere about here. Okay, that's the initial part of the work done. What we now need to do is look at what happens next. Let's go back to our traffic overlay. Now it's probably obvious that, or it should be obvious, that traffic coming out of here is actually having to do quite a detour in order to get to this commercial area. And not only that, but they're then forced to work their way around this area. And of course the reason they're using this side more than they're using this side is because that route is shorter than this route. Don't be misled though, although I'm saying shorter, it's just that because it's shorter, it's quicker, and that's why they're using that direction. We're going to fix that shortly. If we connect this to this, let's get it back to this commercial area by going up this side, it will be a lot shorter. And provided we use a fairly high-speed road, a 4-lane with median or a 6-lane, traffic should use it to get to this area here. And by the same token, residents up here may even use it to get to these areas over here. Okay, I should be getting on with that in just a moment. I'm going to stick the game on pause and I will be right back with you. Right then, what else can we do before we even begin to run the simulation? Well, another obvious fix is all these trucks coming down here are having to fight their way through this area, and of course we've got, well, a mess, frankly. So what we're going to do is we're just going to upgrade this to let's go with decorated roads. We're just going to change this into a big square roundabout, happy days. So now traffic comes down. We've eliminated the dreaded left turns. Everything's going to have to go around. That should even things up there. Also, makes no sense to have a two-lane bridge with four-lane approaches. So we're going to upgrade all of those to four-lane bridges. We're still in quick fix mode, remember. Join that up. Join that up. This one's not going to let me, so we'll just make it let me. Righto. Do I need to replace any zoning in there? I don't think so. I'll just... There we go. There we go, just in case. I think it's going to be alright. Is that road long enough? Just check that as well. We'll just make it a little bit longer. There we are, just in case. Right. That's pretty much all the quick fixing done. The next thing to do is close this. I always forget to close that first. Junctions. Right. It's traffic light city. And the best thing to do with all of these is lose them. The reason is because at the moment we don't know if or when or where they are necessary. And a traffic light is a waiting station, so they introduce stops that might not be there if the traffic is light enough, and they might not be necessary even if the traffic is a little bit heavier. So the best thing to do is just lose them all. We can always add them back if we find that they might be advantageous. My suspicion is they won't be. They almost never are in this game. More of a cosmetic flavour thing than anything else. They're all off. Right. Any over here? Yeah, let's lose that one. Any more? Go, go, go. Let's come up the top here. Any up here? Oh yes, loads of them. Get rid of all of these. Now when I start to run the city, which I'm going to do in a moment, before I've actually done any real work, it may very well be that the traffic flow will get worse. That will be partly because the existing traffic problems that I might have solved with the few little fixes that I put in so far, the traffic has to work its way out, shake free of the restrictions that were in place. So yeah, we won't worry too much if we suddenly see issues. Right, I think I've got them all. It's something I'll just have to keep an eye on as the game progresses. That looks good. Oh, no, there's another one. I see. They just sneak up on you. They are waiting, lying in wait. No, we don't want them. Go away. Any more for any more? I think we are good. Okay. Now the other thing we're going to need is money. And we haven't got any, and because I've had the game on pause since it started, I'm not making any. So I'm just going to let it run for a moment. In fact, let's run it at speed. Look at that, 300,000, and I've not even done anything. You know, this is important. The way this game works is it thinks, aha, something's being done. I've already got 300,000 without actually having really done anything at all yet. That's obviously nonsense. That's more like it. Okay, so it's all backed up. Yeah, I'm surprised to see these guys still changing lanes here. I wonder whether they'll change their behaviour once they get used to this. Yes, there we are. They just started to change here, look. There's still some change in there. What happens is the game spawns a vehicle with a predetermined route. And there you go, that's where they're changing lanes now. The point being that by having the slip lanes further apart, there's more room for the traffic to sort of get on with changing lanes. So instead of doing it right there, they enter the carriageway, drive along for a little while, and then they want to change lanes. Now that's not helping us here and now, because obviously we've just got far too much traffic to deal with, but it can be a lifesaver when you're planning bigger roads, bigger routes on your own maps. Right, low land value, we'll be dealing with that shortly. Next thing we need to do, pause this again, is policies. Never forget your policies. We're going to recycle plastic, and we're going to be going for this one as well. There's another one I want to use, which is high-tech housing, which will raise the value of the land, which will help this low land value issue, but I don't want to do that just yet. We'll also filter industrial waste, why not? And on that subject, we'll just check our water levels, only just coping. Now, this one should improve a little because we're filtering industrial waste, but we are going to need more water, especially if we intend to grow the city a little bit. So we'll just deal with that issue right now, because why wait? There we are, that will do. Maybe 3, why not? Let's run it for a little bit longer. See how our sewage treatment responds. Not yet. Is it going down? It is going down. Yeah, that's going down, and that's going down in response to the filter industrial waste policy that we've just enacted. Good. Traffic. There you go. I did say it might get worse, and there it is. And part of the reason it's getting worse is because it's able to flow more freely in certain areas of the map, which allows it to arrive at the major choke points quicker, and then promptly come to a grinding halt. Right, let's pause. We've got some money. What can we do? Well, the first thing we're going to do is... Oh, and I should say, I have no intention of trying to do pretty fixes here. It's going to be quick, it's going to be ugly, and it's going to work. Let's have a little look here. You come around to about there. Can I... Well, let's turn off that lot, because it's always a nuisance. Yeah, there. Somewhere about there, actually. I think let's do it this way. I think I'll leave that for a moment. And we're also going to want one coming from over there, so let's go mad. Let's put it here. Upsy-daisy. Let's go mad. Why not? Just like there. Bit of curving going on. Can I make it curve? Aha, yes. Go on, just a little bit more. Yes. Okay, something like that for a moment. And obviously I've got the direction wrong on that one, so we'll just change that sharpish. Goody gumdrops. Now we're going to want one of these, and it's going to have to come down to here, and it's going to come down from up here. We'll have it straight till about there. Then we'll want it to end up here, so do. Put the guidelines back on a moment. There we go. Excellent. I've made a rod for my own back here because I'm going to have a curve. It's going to be quite a sharp curve, but never mind. Hang on, let's get rid of those just for a moment. That'll do. This one, I don't like that now. I mean, obviously, as I've already said, I'm not interested in the aesthetics, but on the other hand, there's no need to make it deliberately ugly. What's happening? What am I doing wrong? Start again. Here we go. Somewhere there, I think. That might be too close. No, that's okay. Good. Then we want one. Where's the pillar? There it is. So we want one coming in here. Why are you saying space already occupied? Are you kidding me? There you go. And we want one going to there. That's not ideal because the traffic's going to have to turn quite sharply. But it'll do. There we go. Right, so that will get traffic up into this region. Now we need to repair the damage that I've done to the electricity network. Of course it's already occupied. Really? It's because of the slope. What we'll do is we'll just increase the height of that one. There we go. And join into that one. Okay, what happened there? Where did the other one go? It disappeared. Right, that's better. Over here, I'm going to get rid of that. I don't think we need that one at all because this one is doing the job. Everything's still connected? Yes. Good. All right. So there's our quick and dirty and horrifically ugly little ramps. Let's just get that the right way around. There we go. So hopefully that road is fast enough because from essentially here up that road and into there is quicker, shorter than this because this is quite a long detour. Even though this is highway, this should still end up being the fastest route. If not, I'll just upgrade it to 60. You see, this here is 50, and if I use this one instead, it'll be 60. So that will probably make the difference. But I think it'll be okay with just the avenues. I will have probably introduced a traffic light, so we'll get rid of it because we don't like traffic lights. Okay. Let's run it for a little moment just to see whether or not anything wants to go and use that road. It'll take a little while because all this traffic that's sitting in the jam will already have a predetermined route. So we have to wait for them to shake themselves out of the loop. And there they go, they're starting to use it. Traffic light in there as well. No, we don't like traffic lights. Go away. Now I see quite a bit of traffic is coming across here, which is going to lighten the load somewhat here. Will that have made much difference? Well, no. But did we expect it to? Also no. Righto, next major piece of work. Turn this off. They don't need all these parks, and it would be nice if this road came straight down and straight over here, because so that's what we're going to do. First thing to do then is get rid of this park here because yes, we don't like it. Now because this road doesn't have any intersections and ends at a 2-lane roundabout traffic circle here and has left and right options here, you can see that, let's get rid of this, to look at the road markings, you've got left, right option, and the left, right option here. But I'm going to use 6 lane from here on down through this section, because that will then give me more route options. You'll see what I mean now. Let's get rid of that road there. Go away. Don't want you either. You're not wanted. Okay, so if we look at the arrows, you see we've got a couple of the heads to take advantage of the fact that the road ahead is 2 lane, and we've still got our right-left options. So if you look at the other end, because at the moment it's a T-junction, this middle lane is unusable. We'll be changing that right now. Let me see, I think we'll get rid of this. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to put a kink in this road here to bring it approximately to the same position. And then do a bunch of deleterizing. Go away, go away, go away. We'll be putting the highway back in a moment. Just leave that. Oh, I'll get rid of that one. I do want this to fly over. This started about there. No, there. Bring it to there. Join it to there. Okay, hang on, that's no good. What are you doing, you idiot? Because I do in fact want it to stay elevated to there. Good. Let's put the highway back in. We'll lose these. Now, traffic that's coming up this road that wants to do stuff in here is going to be able to do that because it can just work its way through here. Alright, that's not ideal, but bear with me, because remember the whole idea of the exercise here is to win the scenario. Okay, there's a bridge tower there, is there? Oh, that was already completed. Right, okay, so we managed to connect that up, so that's a good thing. Let's just replace any lost zoning. That one. We're also going to make sure that our good citizens can get through. This we're going to move. Oh look, it's turned. Rats. Oh well, it'll just have to stay turned. There we go. That connects that one up to that one. Too short. Hang on then. I can deal with that. Go away. There we are. Oh, there we are. Right, that's those. Replace this little bit of zoning. There we are. Well, we'll put a little square one in there, why not? That one could be a... there we are. I don't know what it's going to come out as, but hey, who cares? Right, are we all good for zoning? Yes, we are. Right, I'm just going to take a short break, and I will be right back with you. Okay, so, slight mistake I've made here. We need to change this route back to 4 lane, and the reason for that is basically because 6 lane is wasted. If you look at the lane arrows, that side works. This side, I don't know. No, I think I'll leave it. But what I will do is get rid of the evil traffic light. one, there's another one, there's another one. Goody gumdrops. Now I'm going to put in that policy for high-tech housing, which should raise the land value. This is just a quirk of mine. I could have done it straight away, but I'm worried that if I'd have done it straight away, they then complain about the drop in land value when I remove the park. Well, because I've moved the park and now I'm putting in the high-tech housing, hopefully what will happen is they'll say, oh look, our land value is going up, and be happy. That's probably me just being silly, but there you go. Now of course the problem is that this industrial area is now only connected to this area here via this poor little slip road. This little, and that's not going to work. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in a dedicated highway access. The way we're going to do it is, we're going to have an off-on. In fact, we're not even going to bother with that. What we're going to do is we're going to take this down here, to about there. We're going to lift it up. Come on. Slow to sleep. Get too close. Well, that's about right, isn't it? So here we're going to come along to about, say, there. Take it over the highway. Switch to curves. Ooh. That's too tight of a turn. Yes, you let me put it where I want to put it. There you go. That's too tight, but meh. Like I said, we are not looking to win any prizes. And this one can be straight, in fact. This one is going to come to there. The idea of that is because, and I'll probably lose this bit of road as well, is because by doing it this way, there isn't interference between exiting traffic and entering traffic. Can be a fix in certain situations. The other thing I want to do, just briefly for the time being, is get rid of that. For some reason, on these, what they call them cloverleaf interchanges, sometimes the traffic will exit here, loop around to get onto that road, because that is the quickest route, the shortest route, instead of doing what they're supposed to do, which is go over the bridge and drop around that way. Now, having removed that, we'll probably see these guys now start to go over the bridge and around the way they're supposed to, and we also take a lot of pressure off of this area here. Time to run the scenario again. Let's see what's happening. Look at them. See how they're still going around? But now the pre-plotted guys have already done that. The rest of them are starting to use it properly. You'll always get the occasional random that still goes the wrong way, no matter what happens. It's pretty much unavoidable, unfortunately. Sounds like there's lots of nice upgrading going on somewhere. Okay, what have we got going on here? Oh, shocking. So what we're going to do is we're going to relieve the stress on this bit of road a little bit by getting rid of... Oh, I clicked on you. Getting rid of this. And I think we might have a traffic light going on there. Oh no, we don't. So why are you all sitting there like lemons? Ah, because of the cross traffic. Okay, not a problem. Good. There we are, they're starting to work through. See how they continue to use that because they were pre-plotted. Not bad. How's this looking up here? That's starting to shake itself free, slowly. Look at all those people. Ah, no, this traffic is going to get better. It's people moving in. Okay, don't be afraid when you see mass influx. If you've got a big number here and traffic problems, you're probably best to ignore them, because what they actually mean is you've just got a lot of people trying to move into the city. So we're not going to worry about those people for the time being. Traffic flow, though, will be rather bad. Okay, now it's time to look at this lot. What can we do? Well, what's the problem? Let's have a little look at that. The issue is you've got a lot of trucks, and they all want to go into this industrial area here, which they can't easily because there's no direct access into this industrial area. Now, the way I'm going to fix this is, you're not going to like it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this cloverleaf. I'm going to move the highway over a little bit to make room for another intersection here, and I'm going to use a couple of so-called DCMI interchanges. Don't ask me what DCMI stands for, because I'm sorry, I don't know, because I'm thick. What I should have done is had a little look on the internet. I know what a DDI is, divergent diamond, but I don't know what a DCMI is, although I do know it's a very, very effective interchange design, as you will see shortly. Come on, let me delete that. There we go. That one. I hate deleting tunnels when there's traffic in them. I always think that I'm burying cars alive. Let's take this back to about there. That's good. Right-ho. So now then, DCMIs, interchanges. It's this. I got it off the workshop. I'll put a link to it in the description, so any of you guys that like the look of it will be able to get one for yourself. It's called a small and proper DCMI, and it is possibly the next best thing to the turbine interchange and the stack interchange. I like it in this scenario though, because it's small. If we look at an example of a divergent diamond, and you see how much bigger that is in terms of the footprint, and look how small this is compared with, say, a turbine, it's a very effective interchange. And I'm kind of cheating here by using this, but on the other hand, if I had the patience and the ability, it's not something I couldn't build myself, so I don't consider this to be a cheat. Just a time saver. Oops. Will that go across there? Probably say slope too steep, I should think. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll just delete. Because the design, it sets itself into the ground. I've tried raising and lowering it. Perhaps it's my bad, I don't know. Goody gumdrops. And I'm going to put another one, slightly different orientation. And it's going to go, if I can get it in, come on, it's going to go about sort of, ooh, stop snapping, please. Put there. As I said, quick dirty, effective, good enough. Right, now we got a problem. Can I connect it? Because of the height difference. Space already occupied? By what exactly? Oh, I know what to do. Go away. We'll just delete you two guys, thank you. And then we can put you back in. One. We'll just do a little kink. There we are, that's that. And then we need to reconnect these people. Again, what I should do now is spend my time doing some nice curves, but it's not going to happen, people. It's going to be very awful. And I do apologise to those of you who like everything nice and neat. Right, that's going to have some major reworking, because otherwise it's not going to fit. Come on, bulldozer, thank you. This one can go across here. I'm just going to put it in like that because I'm lazy, essentially. Ooh, don't like that either. But never mind, we don't care. Remember what we said. It's quick, it's dirty, it's effective, and that's all we're interested in. Right, and finally, because I've now made myself some space. Oh, excuse me, time out for a quick cough. I'm just going to connect this one to that one. And this one, if I can get it in there. What is that? That's the power station. We might just move it. Let's have a look. How big are you? Yeah, you can just go around the corner. Let's move you. Move you to there. Goody gumdrops. And now back to the roads. Get this guy. Right then. Just make sure we haven't introduced any traffic lights. No, we haven't. Splendid. Right, that looks fairly awful. Let's run the simulation. While that's happening, we'll put this road back in. Just to there. I need you to go. Oh, I know. Let's move you. Just need you to come out here a little bit, that's all. Go away. It's very nice of you to give me this information, but not at this time. I think I'll do the same with this one as well. There we go, that's better. Just reverse you before I forget. Happy days. Again, ugly. Awful to look at, but hey. Right, let's have a little look over this side. Where are you? This one can go to there, and this one can go. Really? Slope too steep. Are you kidding me? Let's just delete that. Still the slope too steep? I don't think so. Reverse that one. Goody gumdrops. Okie dokie. These people have now been cut off. Bless them. That'll do. Don't like it, but it'll do. Right, so now what have we got here? I don't think that's actually too bad now. Right, still mass influx of people, so we need to concern ourselves with those. What's happening over here? Building is emptying, that's good. Once it's empty, it's going to be a recycling centre, since I have green cities. Right, whoa, look at this lot flying. Let's have a little look what's happening there. 84%, 83%, okay, and we still waiting for this to shake down. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, maybe we need to do something about that. Now I've caused a problem here because I've got these two DCMIs sort of back to back, so they're backing up. I'm just going to let that run though in case it'll sort itself out. It might. What's our import-export situation looking like? Imports have dropped, yeah. Exports have gone up, which presumably means everybody's a lot happier. Yeah, that has sorted itself out, I think. So this is now the only issue, is this area here. Excellent. Now this is the point at which I can help myself with some judiciously placed one-ways. If I make this a one-way road, then we'll stop this backup at this point, possibly. Let's just try that. Happy days. So what's happening? Oh no, we're running out of oil. Yeah, it is starting to sort itself out now, I think. Let's have a little look at our traffic. 84. Good. The mass influx of people has dropped back, so that's okay. Well, I say it's okay, it's not that okay, because obviously this needs to be 35. But, what's happening? Do I mind? I don't think I do, you know. It's not looking that shocking. Let's just check for traffic lights. Make sure some haven't crept in or I've left behind. No, that's okay. So look at our water situation. Oh, we're right on the limit here. Power's plenty. I think I'll just plop in a quick one of these somewhere, if I can find somewhere to put it. Yeah, that'll do. Just to cover us against sewage issues. Oh, that doesn't look too pretty, does it? But never mind. Right, so we've got something of an issue going on here, but nothing to write home about. This is the sort of thing where you're tweaking the traffic for optimum flow. Now, what I'd like to draw your attention to, before we go any further, is that this has not been changed at all, aside from making the bridges slightly higher capacity. and removing the stupid one way. Oh, I left one in there, look. Removing the stupid one ways in this area here. That's all that's changed in this area. The reason I want to sort of highlight that is not from any sort of, hey, look at me perspective, but because when you guys have got traffic problems, it can be all too easy to start steaming in with huge road upgrades and massive changes to your zoning, which might be necessary, it's true, but might just as easily not be necessary at all. So always look for the easy fix. Start a new, create a new save, fiddle with some solutions on that save, and if they look like they're working, go back to your actual regular save and implement them. And if they're not, great. Do away with them, do something else. How are we doing on our traffic? Pretty good. However, we are not quite far enough ahead yet with this. So, and we've got no residential demand, so yeah. So additional zoning isn't going to help at this point. What might help, possibly, is to, let's just have a look at our 18% unemployment. Yeah. Not too bad. Are we about to experience a death wave? I don't think so. See if I can whack a crematorium in up here, because look, there's no death care coverage up there. Where can I put it? Can I put it there? Yeah, not without destroying that house though. Yeah. We'll just increase the length of this road just a tad so we can plop in a crematorium. There you go, because, stiffs. Righty-ho. Oh, these people over here would probably quite like one as well. Can I get one in there somewhere? Not without destroying a building. I don't want to destroy a building. What if can I extend that one? Just a... Not quite. Look at that. I haven't quite got enough room. I wondered if it'll fit. Probably not now, after all that. No. Oh, yes. Cool. Goody gumdrops. What's it like over there? That's not too bad. Oh, they wouldn't mind one. Let's put it there. Fire. Ooh, yes. Let's fuck in a fire station. Big one, little one. Big one. Police station. Not too bad for police coverage, so you can go without. Although, big police station, firehouse. Oh yeah, you can have a big police station as well. That's a bad place to put it, for reasons that should be obvious because of the median strip road. So we'll put it there. There you go. Where else are we doing particularly badly for stuff? Right, now, what's not going to happen is they're not going to build on new zones, but they might upgrade their properties. They are still in the process of upgrading their properties, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to help them along with that. Tennis courts are good for this. Small, compact. Let's put it there. That'll help. You like that? Oh look, that's empty. Let's get rid of that. I can't even remember what I'm looking at. That garbage. We'll replace that with a nice Recycling centre. Recycling centres, I really like these. They come from, I think it's from the Green Cities DLC. And they produce raw materials, which can be useful as a byproduct of their sort of essential service. Where can I put another tennis court? Oh, look at this. Yep, sorry people, you're being evicted in the wider interests of making people happy. If I put another one, hear him upgrading. There. And of course the great thing about the upgrading is it, oh look, it's dropped, ratbacks. And of course the reason for that is that we got more people in here now. We're nearly up to 35,000. So, pretty good, hey? Let's have a look around here. Oh, I could whack one in there, I suppose. Oh. Where else could I shoehorn one in? Hard to say. Somewhere up here. I don't want to destroy any more of the properties than I have to for hopefully obvious reasons. Yes, you like that? Very keen on tennis. Got a lot of abandoned buildings, all sorts of other issues. We don't care because this is a scenario. All we're interested in is beating the scenario. Let's have a little look at where we are. Goals. We're on 62 weeks. And we're just short, but it's now dropping. Let's have a look why. Oh, I don't know. No, that's people leaving. So again, we're still facing a happiness issue, basically. Where else can I put? Oh, there we are. We'll just extend this road so we can get another tennis court in, because I like tennis courts. Lovely. Yeah, we're almost there, people. It's agonizingly slow at this point. Oh, I'll just do another quick road extension. I might even join that one to that one actually, and that will increase the coverage. There we go. Look at all this stuff upgrading. It's mad, isn't it? Stop going down. I don't know why I'm putting that there, but hey, why not? Oh, we're popping over here as well. This is now Tennis City. Industrial demand is almost dropped off to zero. Happy days. We are now in the invidious position of possibly having to go through a death wave. Because there's quite a lot of browns starting to emerge, which are going to have to die and cycle out of the system. Fire station coverage is pretty good. Oh, we can put a fire station. Will it fit? No. Will the little one fit? Yes, it will. Good. I like it. And as you see, the problem now is just a case of waiting. If I'd have done more about this city beautification earlier in the game cycle, I might have got away with it already being over by now. Obviously I've left it a little late. I'm just looking for something I can plonk in there. Where can I put it? That'll do. I'd like to improve it down here, but I haven't got any room to put any roads in, and I don't want to evict people with a bit of road building. So, are we nearly there? Are we nearly there yet? I think what I'll do is I'll just extend that road ever so slightly. Cool. And yeah. Oh, it'll be another tennis court because, yeah, tennis is good for you. Or something. Fire coverage. Ooh, look at that. 30 Great Fire Station. How much happier do you people feel in your beds? Oh, they're not doing good for schools. Oh, look at that. Can we fire a school in there? Oh, yeah, go on. It won't hurt. Did you enjoy that, everybody? And we've got a little bit of room down here to stick a school in, so we'll do that too. As you can see, we're just hovering. How are we doing for time? 79 weeks, meh. What's the traffic looking like? Hanging on in there. This has sorted itself out. You see how I could easily have been sucked into doing major roadworks here, which would have turned out to have been a waste of time, effort, money, and all to little effect. This isn't fantastic, but it's not bad. The red is more about the fact that I've got these intersections so close to each other there isn't the room. That bit of red there is probably because my road is just not very well designed. It's just, you know, a bad shape. And we're about there. I think we're going to do it any second now. Ooh, look at this. Come on, chaps. Just another 50 people. Let's zoom out. It's all happening. Any second now. Have we done it? I think we have. There you go. Just pause. We'll just have a screenshot of that, I think. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how it's done. Yeah, let's just have a little revisit. The city is shockingly badly designed, and the reason for that is because the industrial areas are in such placed in such a way that all the traffic needs to get through this funnel, this bottleneck. We've done nothing about the bottleneck, but what we have done is created an optional route into this industrial area here, which might indeed, in fact, also get used by this one. You know, just scoot across here and they're on the highway. Maybe they'll go that way, maybe they won't. This alternative route here alleviates a lot of the pressure on this arterial route here. These two accesses purely out onto this highway free this area from the bottleneck that was in this area here. Putting that central spine road, if I can call it that, through this area alleviated the pressure on all the surrounding roads and created a direct through route. And remember, the reason that I used the 6 lane as opposed to the 4 lane that's in use here is because as a 6 lane you create separate lanes, and you can see the traffic is using the lanes. You've got a guy over there on the right lane, look, you've got another guy in the left lane. They'll use all the lanes where they have the options to do so. All in all, Is it good? No. Is it pretty? No. Did it work? Absolutely. I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something and that you can take these ideas back with you to your own cities and your own playthrough perhaps of this scenario. You certainly do this scenario more attractively than I have done. Can you do it quicker? Over to you. Thank you very much for watching once again. I hope you all guys are all happy and well, and maybe I'll catch up with you again soon. Bye bye for now.